Oh, for goodness. All I wanted was a nice flat lay before I get started, and this cat will not stop shaking the camera. Hello, fellow humans. Today I'm going to be making some festive content, and that's going to be Christmas cards for my friends and family members. I'm only making about 8, and I've gone ahead and prepared 4 different designs, as you can see here. Also made some snow to put on the cards as such for some scenery we're going to be doing. I don't know about you guys, but I freaking love Christmas. Christmas is my absolute favorite time and day of the year, and I'm lucky enough to still be able to celebrate with my immediate family. We've always lived pretty far away from our extended family, so this year will be no different for us since it's always just us. So like I said, I'm doing 4 different designs. 2 of them are going to be snowy scenery. Here we are going to have 2 little snowmen. And I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready so I can just glue everything down and decorate all at once. I have to admit, I don't actually make my cards usually. I don't always send cards. I can be really bad about it. But this year I've gotten a lot more into my creative roots. I used to do a lot of art and be very creative, especially when I was younger, into like middle grades, and I kind of let it slip away. Bullet journaling was the first way that I really brought that back. Fun fact, the second way was writing fan fiction with my friend. And I have since started writing it on my own as well. There's just something so nice about making something that you're proud of, that is cute, and that you can share with somebody. And a Christmas card is so simple. It's such a nice way to do that. So I chose to do that this year. Plus, bonus, I already had all of these materials, so I didn't have to go out and buy cards. For example, this white paper I've had sitting on a shelf for the longest time since I bought my typewriter. It's slightly thicker than typical printer paper because it's just easier for me to use it with my typewriter, but I don't use that typewriter all the time, and therefore that paper has just been sitting there. So I wanted to make good use of some stuff I already had. Here I'm kind of just gluing everything down so that I can go ahead and decorate them all at once, kind of batching each step of the process. Something you'll notice in my videos too, I always have a candle going, and that is not just for the video. Candles are some of the nicest things, especially in the winter, to feel very cozy. Winter is my favorite. I live in a warm place, so I have to hold on to every little bit of winter that I get. I really miss snow. Snow is the one thing that I truly do miss actively each winter, now that I live somewhere that really doesn't get more than maybe a dusting that stays for half a day. So for my first little design, I've done these little snowmen, and I say landscape, it's just a mound of snow and a snowman. But I kept them really simple. I went ahead and just did some coal buttons, a little carrot nose, and some coal eyes. Very old traditional snowman. And then we added some snow. And there's my little snowman, guys, all done on the outside. Next, we're going to move on to these trees. Everything is snowy. I miss snow. Everything needs to be snowy. So we're just going to add a little bit of green where the snow hasn't reached. But mostly we're going to leave this thing white. Even just going back over this footage, it's so freaking cozy. I actually have a cup of tea as I'm working on this. And like the snowmen, you have to add the snow. It's just so nice and cozy and Christmassy. And there are my little trees. I'm only doing 2 of each design. I wanted to try a few out today. Next, we're going to be finishing up these wreaths. I will say these are probably my least favorite that I made. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but wreaths are not my favorite Christmas facet. And I think I could have done a bit of a better job with them if I had really added some more pizzazz, but I kept them pretty simple. I tried to use some paper that I had, so I used that patterned green paper. And then I did some holly leaves around the edges, just for a little border. What's holly without little red berries? Got a few more berries on this one. Wreath cards are complete. Yeah, again, they're not my favorite that I made. They're perfectly fine, but I'm more into the snowy looking stuff. Last, we are doing some bows, just some big red Christmas bows. These cards I actually loved. They're not my favorite out of everything I made, but they might be my second favorite. They're just simple and happy. I added some gold shadow on there just to make them pop a little bit more. And then I went in and added some detail. And some glitter gel pen, because why not? And at this point, I decided they looked a little bit plain, so I did go ahead and add a border around all of them, sort of like a picture frame. And then color that in with gold, again, just to make it pop a little bit. And there are my bows. I love how these turned out. So now we need to work on the inside. I went ahead and got my stamp pad and just did a simple Merry with my little stamps. And then for Christmas, I took that same gold permanent marker and just did kind of a bouncy cursive-y hand lettering-y script. Is there a name for that? I really don't know what that's called. And then I did that 7 more times. Now at this point, I decided that my Christmas was a little bit plain, So I did want to go ahead and add a little more detail, kind of similar to what I did in my bullet journal setup video. I just added a shadow to all of the bouncy hand lettering that I had done. That's one of my favorite things to do, and you'll probably see me do it frequently. So at this point, I had all of them done pretty much. So I went ahead and laid them out just to let the ink on that Mary dry a little bit more, because it took forever for some reason. And those are all of my beautiful cards. I had 2 colors of paper, so I just did 4 of each, but I really like how they turned out. We have our bows, trees, some wreaths and holly, and of course, Mr. Snowman. I don't usually make Christmas cards like I said, but I'm really excited to maybe do this again next year, maybe make them a little more intricate, who knows, but I'm really proud of how they turned out, especially since I kind of did this on a whim. I hope everybody has a wonderful chilly season. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go pet a cat.